In this short video, I want to demonstrate how you can create drop downs in cells within Excel. Now, I am going to cheat in this one in that I'm going to pause the timer because I'm going to show you 3 different ways to do this, and I want to explain them a little bit in between. So I'm going to stop the timer when I'm actually not doing something related to the drop down list. Okay, so let's start the timer and I'll show you the first type. So what you can do is click in the cell that we want to build the drop down. We're going to go data, data validation, and data validation again. We're going to choose a list. Now I'm actually going to type in yes, comma, no, and click OK. That's it. It's done. So I can pause it. Okay. So there's the yes and no as a drop down. So just to go back into that so I can sort of show you there, you can type in the options you want separated by commas. Now this is one of the few times in Excel you don't need to put quotation marks around text, so you can just put commas between the entries you want. And so for example, if I wanted to, oh sorry, I better I'll start the thing again. If you wanted to say maybe, then you just add it like that and click OK, and I'll stop it again. And so you can actually you can add to it. Now obviously that's fixed, it's not variable, so you can't change it, but that's one way to create a drop down. You can actually type in the data validation dialog. Okay, let's have a look at another type of drop down. So if you've already got an existing list, so these states for example, so we want those to be the entries for the drop down. So let's start the timer again. Here we go. Click on data validation, click on list, click in the source, and all you do is select the range, and that's it. Click OK, and I'll stop that. And now we have a drop down, and there they are. Now the downside with this is, again, it's fixed. So if you add another state, not that we can because I think I've got all of the states listed there, but if you wanted to add something to the bottom of the list, you'd have to manually amend that. So let's see how we can get around that limitation. So what we have here is the same sheet basically, but I'm going to create what's called a formatted table. Now, formatted tables are another topic, but in this instance, they give you that flexibility to add another entry to the list. So let's say I take out Northern Territory in this case. Okay, and then we want to add it in later. So here we go. So I'll start it, and this one's going to be tight. Here we go. So I select the list. I'm going to click on Format as Table. I'll pick a color, and I'm just going to click OK. I'll explain that later. Click here for where the drop down is going to go. Back to data, data validation. It's a list, and again you just select the range and click OK. Oh, and I'm not sure if I made that, so I might have just gone over my minute. Now let's have a look. There's the drop down, but look what happens when I add Northern Territory to the bottom. It automatically pops up. Now that doesn't happen with the ones that I created earlier. So if I just put something else at the bottom here, that won't automatically pop up on the bottom because this is not a formatted table. This is just a list. So this one is a lot more flexible, but you need to have that extra step of putting in the formatted table. Now, when you created a formatted table, you get a bonus tab on your ribbon, so you can give it a name. Like I just used the default name for that one, but it does give you the flexibility of adding and subtracting. So let's say we want to take Tasmania out. So Tasmania now isn't in the list. And there you can see it's taken out. And again, if I go back to here and put it Tassie back on the bottom, it will appear on the bottom. So you can see it is dynamic. So this is probably the preferred method, this third one. But as I said, there are a couple of ways to do that. I hope you found that useful. Thanks for watching.